Welcome everyone to the Mastermind Book Club. Tonight we are ready to cover a book that we weren't supposed to cover, but we just took a little bit of a tangent only because last week we were so into the talks of this cryptocurrency that is happening right now, this frenzy, this craziness, this wild roller coaster ride, which has a lot of people screaming for joy and a lot of people screaming for anguish, anxiety. What's the name of this book? Does anyone remember?
The Bitcoin.
The Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, the future of money.
The future of money. That's right. That's right. Bitcoin, the future of money. The title says a lot about what this book is about. And as before we started the recording here, we all had a little bit of a conversation in reference to this. And I just wanted to have, from you team members, that leaders that are here, what did you think of this book? And some of you said something that was spot on, but at the same time was questionable about the book. And I'd like to give you a chance to just say what you think about this book before we go into it, even into further detail of in reference to the summary. Go ahead. Anyone?
I'll start off. I thought the book was very informative, especially at the beginning of telling you how it started. It gave you a little foundation of what Bitcoin actually came from. I'm always messing up this guy's name. He's Japanese.
Satoshi
Nakamoto.
Yes.
So like he produced what was it, 800,000 word paper about 80,000.
Yes.
So I mean, he was one of the founders, and then it went on to talk about the Punk Squad, which were other hackers and computer guys that came in with him. And then it also talked about the highs and lows of Bitcoin, and how, this one company I thought was the MDOC exchange.
Yes.
They took something like, was it $350,000 or worth of Bitcoins from this one father. And he was like, he said it was a scheme, and he used his kids' college fund and everything he had, and he wanted to kill himself. And, people had to talk him off the ledge.
Right.
Thought that was pretty interesting. Then, it's almost like some kind of novel, because the CIA got involved and Satoshi disappeared. Some say that he might have been sick. It was just interesting, some of the things that went on, and the creators of the Bitcoin, and how governments are still fighting this. They've been fighting this tooth and nail, and they were using WikiLeaks to go after them. Oh, I learned about the Silk Road.
Silk Road.
The Silk Road, which is a way they buy illegal drugs and guns and so forth.
On one level or another, it does exist. That's not going away.
Oh, yeah.
That's not going away.
That's never going away, unfortunately.
And I guess the great thing about Bitcoin, the great thing and the bad thing that I learned about Bitcoin is no one really can control it. It's like it could be a wild monster, because it has no central authority.
Correct.
Even though I guess they're fighting really hard, tooth and nail, to try to change that. But the way it was written in the the C2 plus code.
Not right now. I'm listening to the book club.
Yeah, that they can, you would have to be really deep into the code to C2 plus code. It was the binary code that was winning, and the different people involved. Oh, I love the story about the pizza, where the guy he took 10,000 Bitcoins to order a pizza when he first started.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
And then he comes to find out that pizza cost him $12 million. I enjoyed
it's insane. Insane.
But in July 2010, it was like an eighth of a cent. Eighth of 10 cents. Then it went to 6 cents. And now, how much is it, Reg? Like 60? Oh, $39,000.
That'll keep fluctuating. It's never going to stay in the same spot.
Which is amazing within itself. But those were just some of the things I got away from it, from the book.
By the way, that pizza now is worth. That pizza would be the 10,000 Bitcoin is about $380 million.
345
Wow.
$380 million for that's the most expensive pizza on earth.
Wow. Well,
great.
and that's another reason why a lot of people are offering Bitcoin as a payment method, because if they hold on long enough, they'll be able to incur an investment on the actual item that's being sold.
But the thing I would caution everybody is how weak these platforms are as far as people getting hacked. Like a lot of these platforms where people were purchasing the Bitcoin got hacked at the beginning. I don't know how it is now. But that seemed to be a big problem, huh?
No, there are plenty of platforms now that are respectable, whether it's crypto.com. You can even buy crypto on Cash App or PayPal.
Correct.
And we know those are pretty okay. So you can do a PayPal. I built crypto myself on maybe 7 platforms.
I have about 12 platforms and growing.
Yeah,
and they're secured.
I would stay on the side of stop looking at the cautionary side of it and find out what you need to find out that is the positive and what's going to get you to be an adopter, because if not, you're going to miss out on a chance to turn $1,000 into $10,000 or whatever. And that's what it's going to come down to. Because everybody who's on the side of being scared, this is not going away.
Reg, you sound a little far. You could get closer to the mic.
I'm right near the mic.
Oh, okay. Well, sound a little far. I don't know if everybody else hears him. But go ahead.
But in any case, I mean, I would not worry so much about any negatives, because yes, there could be negatives with anything, but everything about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, which is the forerunner, the beginning, before everyone else, speaks to the fact that, this is the new wave. And even when you had some of the likes of people like Jamie Dimon, who's the head of JP Morgan, try to speak negatively about Bitcoin, I'll never invest in it. Now you see them, the head of a major bank, that's saying we're going to produce we're going to buy X amount of Bitcoin or create a Bitcoin ETF. So that should tell you right there. What happens is typically is always the individuals who are ahead of the game or they're going to try to dissuade everyone else to keep them in the dark, and then the little guy misses out. But this is the very opportunity for the little guy or everybody. So try to capital. Even if you buy, the thing about Bitcoin or any cryptos, you can buy it down to 8 decimal places. So even though cryptocurrency may be costly for some things like Yearn Finance, which is a coin of Bitcoin, that's $38,000. All you need to buy is a fraction of it. So if you can only afford $50 worth of Bitcoin, Bitcoin is divisible to 8 decimal places. So you can certainly buy $50 worth of Bitcoin, right? So that's not an issue. So just buy your $50. And if Bitcoin goes from 38,000, which it most surely will over time, let's say to 200,000, that's a five-fold increase. So your 50 will become 250. You gain by the same percentage gain. That's how it works. So don't worry about how much you can, don't worry about the cost of the crypto. Just be concerned with what you can afford to put into it. And that's what you put into it. And whatever is the percent gain on the crypto is the same percent gain you get. That's what people need to understand. That's it. And do your own research.
I saw somewhere where Bill Gates is involved in doing something with crypto. Is that true?
Forget Bill Gates. Forget everybody. Just be focused on you. Seriously. I'm not even trying to be funny. Seriously.
But you are funny, man. You're a funny guy. But seriously.
Forget Bill Gates. Bill Gates is, we know, a scammy and all that other stuff. He's involved with a lot he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, don't worry about Bill Gates. Be concerned with Charles. Let's be concerned with Martha. Be concerned with Gina, Ruth, Reggie, and David. We have the ability to buy Bitcoin or any other crypto, do our own research, put the money in, again, whatever you can afford, whatever is the percent gain, because it's going to go up and down, but if you hold it long enough, your money's going to go up. That's the bottom line. I'm just trying to get you to see that and take advantage of it. But anyway, we're going a little bit off the topic of the book. I wanted to share stuff about the book, but somebody else can go and I can come back.
Thank you, Reg. No, I mean, it's amazing the amount of information that's available on this topic. Bitcoin in general is a new method of investing, and some institutions are accepting it. Some are challenging it because it is challenging everyone's way of income. That's the reality. Martha, Ruth, Gina, would you like to say anything in reference to this book?
I can say something.
Yep,
go ahead, Gina. You want to talk?
No, you go ahead, Martha.
Ruth, go ahead.
I'll let you go first. It's all right.
Okay. I want to say in September 2008, when the financial crisis system collapsed and the stock market collapsed, that's where the people are thinking of a way to make another way to pay and create money. And they created the Bitcoin like protocol and Union money. It's like a digital money right now in the market. You can keep it in the software in the computer, or you can put it in the flash drive in your phone. You can keep it anywhere, and you can buy with credit cards. You can buy the checking with your bank account. You can buy euros. You can buy pounds. You can buy dollars. And you can make any transaction in any country, in any place in the world. So for me, it was a lot of information. I was very dummy with the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I got a lot of information. And now I feel like I try to praise Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and I feel more confident because I know I have a knowledge now. I can do that. And for me, this is going to be the future. Definitely it's going to be the future. And we have to learn it now. This has been going on for 23, 24 years ago. It's nothing new. But a lot of people didn't know, and a lot of people didn't pay attention what's going on in the economics and the financial system and the stock market. A lot of people, they know, you just work, and you just get blind, do the everyday style life, wake up, work, and then coming back home and sleep. And we didn't check what we have around the world and all the changes we have right now. And with the pandemic, a lot of people wake up, I guess, because they was locked up for so long in the house, and they were trying to do something and learn something and work from the house. And that's where a lot of people wake up with a different life. We have a different life now. And the cryptocurrency definitely is a cash wallet. And you can keep it for a very long time if you want to, or you can use it right away. You can use it, you can manage in any way, whatever everybody's choice. And another thing, they say they don't know who purchase the Bitcoin, but they know because you put your account information, you put your social security. But the book said it's privacy, but I don't think it's too privacy right now. Maybe in the past it was privacy. They don't know who buy the Bitcoins or who can pay with the cryptocurrency. But now it's no more privacy. There's another thing, guys, in the book, and I'm not sure about that. Somebody had to clear for me because I'm not sure it's privacy or it's no more privacy anymore.
There is super privacy.
It's still private.
Yes, it's the best privacy available out there, Martha.
Oh, okay.
Someone would have.
But the governments are fighting to circumvent that.
Because now it's millions and millions of dollars involved in this cryptocurrency. A lot of people using that.
As we speak, that's increasing. As we speak, it is increasing, and a lot of these bankers and hedge funds are starting to get in heavily. They're still split in who does what, but the reality is that everyone is attempting to get in as fast as they can. But the reality is that most of us who are average investors are getting in before most investors are, and that's the craziness of what's going on. I mean, you just figure, what other place is there to invest other than what we've already spoken about? Where? Nowhere. I mean, the stock market is not going to go away. That's a reality. What we're seeing is that people are going back and forth in reference to the stock market. We saw a huge pause in the markets and then a huge rise in cryptocurrency. I mean, am I wrong, or is this what you've heard or seen, or what? Especially those of you who know.
It's probably not. It's a rise in crypto, but it's still a small population of the world in crypto. There's probably been more of a rise in stocks, especially with some of these guys like the Redditors, pushing on retail investors, which are you and I, to basically where they push some of these stocks out there to, once they found out about some of the situation with stocks like GameStop, and pushed on a general population to go and buy these stocks to take advantage of those short positions that were open on those stocks, so that it forced the stock to go up. And then it rolled up so much because of heavy demand, and people were able to capitalize on stocks like GameStop and I think AME, or what was it, AMC, or one of these, and some of these others. But I don't know that there's more necessarily in crypto. Crypto is still a very, very small, very, very, very small population of the world. From what I've heard, like, is maybe as small as like 4%. And I don't even, that sounds even like kind of high. So it's still a long ways to go. We're still early adoption. So, I mean, that's why I keep pushing, just to say, people buy something, do your research, buy. But to the point of what you were saying, Martha, about public, your information is not public. Someone would have to know your wallet address. And your wallet address does get printed on what's called the ledger on the blockchain, where the blockchain is all these computers that work in tandem with each other to basically maintain the cryptocurrency network. But basically, if someone got access to your wallet address, which would be very hard to do or impossible, whatever, then they could actually track what you've done over the blockchain, because everything gets recorded on the blockchain. It becomes permanently stamped in that ledger, what's called a ledger. But it's not. That would be, how would they do that? So,
correct. That's correct. How would they do that?
I'm on a lot of crypto calls. So there's one I listen to every Friday night. So there's a guy, Wayne, obviously. Yeah. So Wayne does a call on Clubhouse every Friday night. So I'm consistently on that, and actually got picked for some, I don't know, he did some kind of contest or something, I think it is, for me to have a comment. I got to contact him. I'm like, what is this about? I think I got picked to talk to him. So I've learned a lot of crypto of late.
Got it. Sorry to interrupt you, Reg. How about Ruth or Gina? Anything you want to say? Add, take away, subtract?
David, this is Ruth.
Ruth, yes.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot of challenge because, the Bitcoin challenges the financial system, banking, and government, everything, the way people regulate some of these countries, like Nigeria. I was listening to that podcast that I had sent a link to, but it didn't go through. I'll find it and post it again. But, what happened is that it's going to liberate so many people and the way they do businesses and transaction. I mean, imagine whenever we send money back home to Honduras, you have to pay, like send 100, you got to pay like $8 or 13, or $13 for a transaction. Whereas, in Nigeria, this podcast was saying that there's a lady who's like a woman activist, and I guess that's what she called it, I think. And she said that the Bitcoin has helped them save money in that sense, you know, that now they can send money internationally and don't have to go through a third party that oftentimes rip them off. So you can see how this is changing, you know, these countries, the way money is managed. And even some of these countries want to block, you know, the Bitcoin because they know that it will empower a lot of people. And some people who work 9 to 5, like Martha was saying, you know, they don't really have time to do the research and to find out what's going on in the cryptocurrency world. And those who do, you know, it liberates them. It has liberated quite a lot of people to make money when they didn't have the chance because they didn't have the education. You know, so this is going to change quite a bit of many institutions, and I'm kind of worried in a sense about this card that, you know, you said to invest in, because for what I understand, this proof of work and versus proof of stake. Cardano basically lets the government know that you are investing in all of this and how much, you know, you've invested in crypto. And I think Bitcoin has that anonymity, you know?
Well, it's not necessarily the way that you're saying it. It's not accurate in that sense. Number one, do you have your VPN? Are you stating that you live in wherever you live in Florida? That's number one.
Yeah, I don't have a VPN. I had one on the phone before, but I don't have that set up. I know I'm going to learn that from you.
That's number one. Number two is not every state operates the same way. Right now, Florida, Nebraska, Wyoming, Las Vegas, possibly, I think it was Kentucky, are the states that are attempting to legitimize investing. However, I don't know what that means. I don't know exactly what it means. I know that they embrace crypto and that they are for it. And Florida is going to get a flock of people moving down there. So get ready, because that's where
tax it.
Real estate is going to move down there. No, they'll say, so the book goes into all of that. But I want to give you all a chance to speak before I tell you about, you know, like what Charles just said, because it does go into that. And I don't know if Ruth or Gina want to continue speaking before I say the stuff like what Charles just said.
David, I would like to. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful.
I just
love
wanted
the
to
braids.
say. Oh, thank you. I did it myself. But
Wow.
I found the book very fascinating. I should say, I mentioned this to Ruth, I believe, that at the beginning of the chapter, they were talking about the money found on Yap and also in the Republic of Palau that they were using, like, you know, some of the ancient people were using. And anyway, I got a chance to see some of that money because I did live in the Republic of Palau for 4.5 years. So it was really fascinating to hear a little bit of the history about money and how they transported it, you know, on the ocean and these kayaks and so forth and so on. And then that sometimes that, you know, they had those incidents where they sank. But I saw some of that money over in Palau, and I also have been on the airport in that little tiny country called Yap as well. So anyway,
wow.
I got a lot of stuff from it, but I thought it was like, well, they're talking about Palau and they're talking about Yap. So anyway, that was the exciting part for me. But I did learn quite a bit about, you know, cryptocurrency. I remember when it first, you know, was introduced and we thought it was just a bunch of nonsense. I remember I was already on the other side of the world, you know, when they were talking about it. And I wish I had some kind of knowledge as to what they were doing, because I was just listening to what other people were saying, you know, oh, that's just crazy. That's never going to happen. And now, you know, when I look at it, it's like, wow, interesting in retrospect. So that's all I wanted to share.
Wow. But that's powerful anyhow, information, Gina. And that reminds me of the things that I'm just about